This is going to be a full social anxiety cure video, starting from the very basics all the way until the end to develop the best relationships as possible. We're gonna go through a couple different sequences in this video, everywhere from why you feel like shit to how to start talking to people, where to start talking to people, and basically just how to get on your shit and stop feeling like shit. And I guarantee you, this is probably one of the #1 things in the world that is causing people to feel like shit, is not being social, not being able to be social, being afraid to talk to people. That's not how you live through life, not talking to people. Humans are social creatures. We need to get out there and talk to people, and in today's day and age, it is no longer the norm to be friendly and talk to randoms, and I'm gonna teach you how to do it in this step-by-step video. So, #1, you feel like shit, okay? You don't know why you feel like shit. You most likely feel like shit because you're insecure. And a lot of insecurities do come from social anxiety. I do guarantee that being able to speak fluently, being able to speak without worrying about what you have to say, will make you more confident because you no longer be in your head. These are all symptoms of the socially anxious. Just being insecure, afraid to voice your opinion, afraid to talk to people, not having any friends, and being more socially able will allow you to make more friends, and in return make you more happy. Once you do learn how to talk to people and just be better with people in general, you'll start to walk around with your back up straight. You'll start to walk around with more confidence in your chest and your head and your voice, and people will start to notice you, and you'll notice that people will notice you, and that'll make you happy and that'll make you confident. Knowing if you have it is another one. It's kind of hard to pinpoint if you have it. These are some examples I'm going to go over to see if you do have it. The first part was basically just explaining some symptoms. This is going to go a little bit more into detail, but you feel like your opinion doesn't matter when you go to speak to people. I've experienced this myself in the gym, for example. I remember times where I was actually afraid to talk to people out of fear that what was going to come out of my mouth was going to sound stupid. I had fear in my brain that what I was going to convey to some randoms at the gym, whether it be just asking for a weight or just complimenting someone, I feared that it was going to make me look stupid, or what I was going to say was stupid. I had fear that the other person was going to think I was stupid for what the hell I was going to say, and that made me insecure. It made me feel like I was less because I could not voice my opinion. Another sign you may have social anxiety is you wait for others to speak to you. I remember that was a big problem of mine, waiting for others to come to me and talk to me. You can't wait around and wait for people to talk to you. If you do that, you'll never meet anyone in this world. Yes, you may make some friends, but the more you put yourself in social situations, the more you try and talk to people, the more friends you make. You're not going to make any friends, you're not going to get any happier, you're not going to be able to pursue what you want if you're waiting for others to make the first move. And this works the same for boys and women, or men and women, and it works the same trying to pursue a male or female relationship. You can't wait for people to speak to you. You gotta, if you want to talk to someone, if you want to be friends with them, you gotta go up to them and talk to them deliberately. I'm telling you. You overthink what the hell you're going to say to people, either before you say it, or before you talk to them, or in conversation. Like, as when someone's speaking, like, you're thinking in your head, you're not listening to what the hell they're saying, and you're worrying about what you're going to say next. You're trying to formulate your words. You just have fear and anxiety in your head that you're not going to say something right, and you're spending all your time and energy and focusing on what it is you're going to say next, instead of focusing on what it is they're saying. By not doing so, you're not actually going to formulate a good response like you were trying to do by being in your head figuring out what to say. The best way to come up with a good response and hold the conversation for a long time is listen. You need to open your ears, listen to people, and stop worrying about what you are going to say. What you are going to say and what is going to be the right thing to say will come out naturally as long as you listen, okay? You got to pay attention to what the other person is saying, because if you don't, then what is going to come out of your mouth is going to be stupid. I could think of plenty of times in my life where social anxiety was really bad. It's gotten a lot better since, but some examples that hopefully you can relate to, and hopefully you can look at me and realize that these experiences no longer have to be the norm, and you can grow out of it as long as you follow the rules in this video and on this YouTube channel. This is what this YouTube channel is going to be about, just getting more confident, bettering yourself, upping your social skills, and just learning how to talk to people and develop better relationships. That's what I'm passionate about, and that's what I want to teach you. I know how it is to not have those skills, and that's why I am obsessed with teaching you. Obviously I want to help people, but in turn helping people helps me, because if you really want to get good at something, you teach it, and that's what I'm trying to do. I've gone so far and so bad to the point where I've had like literally anxiety, like not crippling anxiety, but like I'll be in my car before I go in the gym and I'll have anxiety about going inside and not knowing what to say to the front desk people. Like I'm like, oh shit, I prepared. Okay, if that person's here today, what do I say? If this person's here today, I'm fine, I don't care about them. But if this pretty girl's here today that I've maybe made a fool of, or I may have thought I made a fool of myself with in the past, but in reality she has no idea who the fuck I am, or doesn't remember the little interaction we did have that I think about all the time that I fucked up. That you have anxiety about going into the gym and fucking talking to the front desk person, that's not right, man. That's just a freaking, that's a non-playable character. Not to talk shit about front desk gym people, but you're afraid to just walk inside the gym, and you're afraid of what to say to the front desk person. You don't know what to say. It's easy as hi, bye. You don't need to have a conversation or anything like that. I'm just giving you an example of how bad social anxiety can be and what fixing it can do for you. It's gonna make you confident. It's gonna allow you to make more friends. It's gonna allow you to make more friends with that person that you were scared of or afraid to talk to at the desk. Other situations, I've thrown out many opportunities with men and women out of social anxiety. There's been times in my life, multiple times, where I can pinpoint where girls were like physically, verbally flirting with me, but out of fear of being afraid of what to say, I didn't say anything in return. I let it be. I laughed. I smiled when they said something, when they were trying to joke me or something like that. You don't want to be the guys that ignores signs from flirting. You're gonna miss out on a lot. Number one, you could miss out on a great relationship. You could miss out on having a lot of fun with a girl, and you can miss out on just a lot of friendships in general. You could miss out on networking. You miss out on meeting new people if you're socially anxious, and you never know where meeting those new people may take you. It's a dangerous game, because you never know where meeting a new person may take you. You never know what you can learn. You never know what you can get out of meeting a new partner. It's as simple as that. You think about all the information and knowledge you miss by not putting yourself out there and not being confident enough to talk to new people and meet those new connections. Also, being socially anxious, I've made terrible first impressions with both men and women. I can think of past job interviews where I came off as not confident at all because I wasn't good at talking to people, and it's been jobs where you need to be good with people, and I've actually lost the job opportunity because that person, the employer, can tell like I wasn't really good with people. I went in there, I was shy, insecure. When he's asking me questions, I was talking from the top of my throat, not talking from my chest like I am now. And he noticed that. He was asking me questions and I was mumbling and not talking right, and he saw that I was not a people person, and unfortunately I did not get hired because I was socially anxious and not confident in my own voice and not confident in what I was saying. I've also missed out on first impressions with girls. I did try to persuade when I actually drew the balls to try and go up to them and say something. There's been times where like I really had like a hardcore gym crush or crush on whatever girl in any place, and going up to them, mustering up the confidence, and just the first thing I say out of my mouth is just fucking stupid because I had no fucking skills on how to talk to people whatsoever, and no experience in talking to new people, a new woman, an attractive woman, and I completely fucked it up. It's true what they say. Most of the time, first impressions are everything, and trying to pursue girls that I really cared about and not being social or not being good at talking to people, I fucked that up just because I sounded so fucking stupid when I tried to go and talk to them. You do not want that to be you. You need to get rid of your social anxiety. It's going to help you in so many other places in your life than just women and employment, and you'll start to see that every day. I've even lost money with people. I've even lost money being socially anxious, as in going to the store and having a bill be $14, giving someone a $20 bill and getting back the incorrect change. I got like $2 instead of $6, and being so anxious in my head and not wanting to speak up and voice that like, hey, you gave me some wrong change. I just took the L because I didn't have the skills to actually say to the person behind the counter, hey, you gave me some wrong cash. What even is that? Do you want to be the guy that can't speak up when he knows something is wrong out of fear of sounding stupid or the other person saying no? Be ballsy, be confident. Show them you're not taking no shit. You want what you deserve. You need to believe you deserve what you want. I'm in business with my father, and just for an easy explanation, let's just say we handed a customer a bill for $10,000. I've had customers only give me about $9,000 thinking they were squared away and it was good, and I don't know why they thought that. Maybe they thought $10,000 was in the pile of cash. Maybe they misheard us when we actually told them the total bill. But I've had people give me less money collecting the bill and not going back to say anything and just taking the L just because I lacked the ability to face someone, or out of the fear of having an altercation. I tried to avoid altercation at all costs, and I didn't want to go back to this person and let them know they owed me an extra $1,000 out of fear that they were going to get mad at me. Like, what is that? To be in business, you need to be confident. You need to let people know what is owed to you. You can't let stuff like that just go unpaid. People are going to walk all over you. This is another area where social anxiety, getting rid of social anxiety, is going to help you. It's going to make you more ballsy. It's going to make you more confident. It's going to make you better at confrontation. And not that you should go out and seek confrontation, but when it does arise, you'll have the skills to confront whatever it is in front of you. Again, my social anxiety is filled with missed opportunities with women, with relationships with women, male relationships with some pretty cool guys, and just losing out on money just because I was a bitch and didn't want to talk to someone. It's ridiculous. You need to fix it. You're gonna miss out on those opportunities I just explained. It's going to affect you in your work life. People will not respect you. People are sharks. I'm not saying you should be a shark, but in the workplace, whether you're in business for yourself or employed by someone, to move up anywhere is not always based off skill and merit. Sometimes it is a respect-based thing, because in a lot of places, a person with a high level of respect from others and himself is someone that can be in charge. If you want to be in charge, if you want to lead, if you feel like you can't be in that position, you need to be confident. You need to be good at confrontation. You need to learn how to be a good speaker. You need to learn how to communicate with people when things are bad. You need to be a good orator if you're going to be a good leader. And someone with social anxiety is not going to be a good orator, is not going to be good with dealing with problems, is not going to be good with dealing with people problems. You have to understand people, and to understand people, you cannot have social anxiety. Like I said before, even your employers are going to recognize it, whether you somehow did get past the hiring process and somehow conveyed to the hiring guy that you weren't socially anxious. Eventually, it's going to start to show. Your bosses are going to see that you don't speak up for yourself. If you can't speak up for yourself, how are you supposed to speak up for your work? If you can't respect yourself, how are you supposed to respect any of the work you're doing and do a good job for them and for yourself? Women or men are not going to respect you. They're going to like you. There's a difference between like and respect. If you're that nice guy, you don't really talk much, you kind of be friendly with everyone, yeah, people are gonna like you. They're gonna say, oh, hi Dylan, blah 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 blah. But they're not going to respect you. Respect comes from having your own opinions and sticking by them, even when others challenge you. Just because a man or a woman doesn't agree with you and you stick to your guns, it's not going to make them hate you, as long as they're not an ignorant person and the situation isn't, or the situation isn't too serious. They're going to respect you for standing by your opinion. You just need to be confident in what you say. When you're confident in what you say, you're more confident in yourself, and in turn that shows other people that you are confident, and they will start to look to you for advice for being a person who is sure in himself, a quality that a good majority of people in this world do not have. Most people are not sure of themselves. Be that guy to gain respect and just stand out from the crowd. Lose the social anxiety or stand out from the crowd. 99% of the people in this world are socially anxious. Stop telling yourself you can't, you're born like this, you can get out of it, I was worse than anyone I fucking knew, and that's what propelled me to get as good as I am today. Being socially anxious, like I said before, it's just going to cause a decline in your confidence, and you're just going to feel like shit all the time, no matter what you do. If you're socially anxious, you're just going to be an anxious person, especially if you're in an environment where you're around plenty of people all the time. You're going to constantly feel bad. You're going to constantly feel like people are judging you. You're constantly not going to know what to say to people. People probably are going to be constantly judging you if you are socially anxious, so it's better to get out of it now so you can develop a little respect for yourself and have other people respect you and have that lead you to new opportunities. Motivation is going to dwindle as well, being anxious and not being confident, because to have motivation for anything, you need to be confident in what it is you're working on. You need to be confident that you can do good in what it is you are working out, if you are an insecure, deeply anxious person, you are not going to be confident in what you're working on. You're not going to do a good job. And even if you are doing a good job, eventually you're going to need to convey or sell your idea to someone else. And if you poorly convey the idea to someone by explaining it with low confidence, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to sell them. You're not going to get anyone on board to what it is you're working on, and you're not going to convey that you believe in what it is you're working on. And if you don't believe what you're working on, why the fuck would anyone else? You're just going to grow weaker and weaker over time instead of growing stronger and stronger. And to know that you are on a path to grow weaker and weaker and being okay with that is not cool. You need to be on the path that is going to make you stronger and stronger. And not being socially anxious and getting more confident is going to help you wonders in being on that path to grow stronger and stronger instead of weaker and weaker. You're not going to be able to pursue what you want in life. You are not. The people who pursue what they want in life are confident in themselves and believe that they deserve respect and believe that they deserve to do what they want in life. If you are not secure in yourself, you will not believe what you want, and you will get stuck working for some asshole or be somewhere miserable just because you think you don't deserve any more. You will become a hermit, and you'll just lose touch with life, and you'll become a miserable person. Get rid of it now. You think now people aren't going to look at you if you're socially anxious, and they can tell, but I guarantee you they can tell, because people are subconsciously better people readers than you think. Some people are able to read people and spot out qualities, but what most people fail to realize in this world, most people do have the ability to read people. What they don't have is the ability to call out and define what everyone is. Everyone definitely has the ability to subconsciously judge a person. The brain subconsciously treats a person based on how the first interaction is, whether you thought about it consciously or not. Like, the brain reacts to how a person shows themselves to you for the first time, whether you know it or not. If you come across as a anxious or insecure person, people are going to perceive you as weak. You do not want to be perceived as weak, because people are, again, going to walk over you. And I'm not saying everyone's going to walk over you. Not everyone's an asshole in this world, but a lot of people in this world are going to take advantage of your weakness, and you do not want to do that. You want to be secure and fully confident in you to prevent that from happening. And when you do get to the point where you won't let people walk on you, and being the bigger man, you're going to want to help people that where they were in your shoes not too long ago. You're just going to be looked at as a weird guy and be socially isolated by not being a confident, secure person, and not being confident in what it is you want to say in this world. Like I said, you're going to be shunned out. You don't want to be shunned out, because you're going to, again, miss out on those opportunities to meet new people and learn those new things. Humans are social creatures. To learn, they need to bounce and reflect ideas off each other. To constantly be learning and constantly be getting smarter, you need to be talking to new people, thinking about new ideas, thinking about new concepts in your head. And if you're socially anxious, you're never going to find an outlet to look for new concepts or think about new things. You're going to stay complacent, closed-minded, stay in your head, not growing, and definitely not growing stronger. No one will look to you for advice. Again, if you don't believe in your own thoughts and ideas, no one else is going to believe in your thoughts and ideas. You're going to seem insecure, and people are going to insecure, and people are going to see that your ideas are insecure. They're not going to want to listen to you. If you want to be anything close to a leader in this world, you're not going to be a leader being socially anxious. Like I said before, being a leader requires you to be a people person. Being a leader requires you to learn and understand how people work. It's going to make you better at those abilities. You need to be able to talk to anyone at any time in any situation and make people feel better. Making an effort to be less socially anxious will help you be better with people, and will help you be a better leader as well. You're not going to be memorable. Think about a charismatic person. You remember them, and think about a person who isn't very charismatic, and you try not to think about. I bet you can't even picture them in your head. Being charismatic is very important if you want to be remembered, and to be remembered and be charismatic, you need to be not socially anxious. You need to be outgoing. You need to be a people person. You need to stick in people's heads. You need to leave a lasting impression if they're going to remember you for anything. And this is going to help you in a lot of places in life, making relationships, especially if you're in sales. When most people are buying something, they go through a million goddamn sales persons, and most of the time they're going with the guy that they remember the most. They're going with the guy that they had the best relationship. They're going with the guy that made them feel warmest. And if you can be that guy, you can be plenty of other guys for plenty of other people in this world as well. There's plenty of opportunities that will come to you if you do make an effort to be less socially anxious and be more confident and be more comfortable with talking to people. You're not going to lose respect, but you're going to gain respect in this world, and that's going to make you feel good, because gaining respect with people, you're going to feel important, you're going to feel well liked, and that's going to help your ego and help your mood. And don't let it stroke your ego in a bad way though. Like, be humble, but understand that you are a secure person and you have friends due to the way you come off to people. And once you start understanding that you are a well-liked person, you are a respected person, people like you, they think you're funny, they look at you as your leader, you, like I said, you feel important and you feel better, and you're going to start to get more secure, and you're going to start to get more happy by knowing that people respect you. People are going to want to hear what you have to say, and that's going to make you feel better as well. People are going to want to listen to you, and that's going to make you happy, because when people listen to you, things are going to go your way. When you can get things to go your way just by using your voice, that makes you happy, because obviously we're happiest when things are going our way, and when we can get people to go along with us, that makes us more of a leader, and in turn makes us more happy, because we feel like we are in charge. We get a sense of importance. Your social circle is going to grow. You're going to make more friends. You're going to be around more people. Naturally, humans are socially creatures. As I said, the more friends they have, the more real friends they have, the happier they will be, because they will have people to share their happy times with. And being insecure, you're not going to have many friends. You're not going to have many real friends, because you're not going to be able to be vulnerable to attract the real friends that you actually want to be around all the time. You're gonna just grow smarter and make more connections. By making more connections, you'll be able to grow smarter, because the more people, like I said before, that you know, I will repeat this time and time again to burn it into your head why this is so freaking important. The more people you meet, the more concepts you will be able to think about in your head to make the overall concepts that you have in your head stronger. Now you're going to put yourselves in more positions to bounce ideas off your head from other people. You're going to be able to dig deep into people that you like and respect's brains and see what they have to offer knowledge-wise, and they can get from you the knowledge you have to offer, and you guys can work together and think about both the great ideas that you guys have and just grow smarter together by combining your intelligence. You're going to live a happier life by having the feeling of being accepted. Outcasts in this world, the goth community, they're notorious for being sad because of being a social outcast or not having any friends. They're sad because they aren't social creatures. They're sad because they have no one to talk talk about their feelings to. They have no one to connect to. If you are that social guy, you're vulnerable and confident and aren't cocky and don't have fake friends or anything like that, you're going to be happier, because you're going to have a sense of community. You're going to have a sense of family, warmth in your life, and that is the key to longevity, is having that connection, that mutual feeling with people of love and respect. You're going to have a better love life, because obviously girls like, or even if you're a woman watching this, men and women prefer a partner on a higher social status hierarchy. And to get higher up on that social status hierarchy, you need to work your way up to it. And one way to work your way up the social status hierarchy is just to become a better speaker, become a better people person, become more recognized. And to become more recognized, you need to be charismatic, and you just need not to be socially anxious. Charismatic people are normally confident, and in getting rid of social anxiety, you will become more confident, and it's going to make you more attractive to the opposite sex. You're going to have better employment opportunities when you go in for interviews. The employer is going to notice your stand-up guy, your charisma, your hard work, and he's going to believe that you're here to stay and believe that you're here to work hard. It's going to work well for you. Being less socially anxious is going to make you more charismatic, is going to make people like you, and when people like you, you're going to get more things that you want in life. Especially with sales. If you're into sales, being charismatic and being less socially anxious is the number one thing you can do to improve your sales. People are going to remember you, as I said before, and you're just gonna have respect for yourself, which I think is the most goddamn important thing. Fuck the respect that people have for you. Not that you don't want that, but having respect for yourself at the end of the day is the greatest thing you can have, because when you have no one, you have yourself. If you don't respect yourself, you won't even have yourself when no one else is around you. Self-respect is the key to happiness, and the key to keeping you happy, and the key to pursuing you to the things you want in this world. Once you do fix it, the overall feeling that you have, the overall feeling that overwhelms your body is insane. I feel like the man most days, and I'm not cocky about it either. Like, I'm not ignorant. I don't walk around like I think I'm better than everybody. I know, like, I know I'm a, for lack of a better term, a high value man. I walk around like I am the shit, but in a moderate, modest, and non-cocky way. Like, I treat people with respect and I respect myself, but I walk around very confident, and I do owe that to having the skills to talk to anybody anytime, and I believe that I deserve to be friends with anybody, and I believe that I deserve any woman I pursue with respect as well. I don't believe people should just drop everything and talk to me, but I believe I have as great as an opportunity to pursue a female relationships as any guy out there. That is something I can obtain just like any other guy out there. You just have to work hard for it. You gain more confidence by not being afraid to voice your opinions, and people again are going to respect you for that. I'm not afraid to voice what I have to say, and not once going out of my way to voice what I have to say deep down has anyone ever stopped me in my tracks or tried to fight me. Most people either just give me like a yeah, or they remember me and they talk about my ideas the next time I see them, and it's almost, I can see in their eyes as if they want to hear more about what I have to say. It's not that they don't have good things to say, it's that they're not used to being around someone who voices his true opinions, who's not filtering anything out for the people in this society who are easily offended at certain topics or certain ideas in this world. Being confident in what you have to say and not being afraid of anyone judging you from what you have to say is going to help you a lot and make you more confident and help you make more friends. Being more confident in your thoughts and ideas, it does lead you to greater places. It leads you to further goals because you can longer stick to your goals and your path in life, because you truly do believe in the goal and path you are working on is the right one. If you're insecure, you go through goals and paths like crazy because you lose confidence in the ideas of that goals and path. Being more confident in general and out in public will make you more confident within as well, because it will make you more confident in your ideas that you want to focus on in the daily for your future. You stop worrying about what people think of you. You walk around with a high head and a straight back and broad shoulders because you do not give a fuck what people are thinking of you. Before, I used to walk around thinking everybody was thinking about me, and I now realize that no one gives a fuck about you. Everyone's in their own little fucking world, and you stop being afraid of what is going to come out of your mouth. When you're confident in what you say, you're more confident in yourself, and in turn that shows other people that you are confident, and they will start to look to you for advice for being a person who is sure in himself, a quality that a good majority of people in this world do not have. Most people are not sure of themselves. Be that guy to gain respect and just stand out from the crowd. Lose the social anxiety or stand out from the crowd. 99% of the people in this world are socially anxious. Stop telling yourself you can't, you're born like this, you can get out of it. I was worse than anyone I fucking knew, and that's what propelled me to get as good as I am today. Being socially anxious, like I said before, it's just going to cause a decline in your confidence, and you're just going to feel like shit all the time no matter what you do. If you're socially anxious, you're just going to be an anxious person, especially if you're in an environment where you're around plenty of people all the time. You're going to constantly feel bad. You're going to constantly feel like people are judging you. You're constantly not going to know what to say to people. People probably are going to be constantly judging you if you are socially anxious, so it's better to get out of it now so you can develop a little respect for yourself and have other people respect you and have that lead you to new opportunities. Motivation is going to dwindle as well, being anxious and not being confident, because to have motivation for anything, you need to be confident in what it is you're working on. You need to be confident that you can do good in what it is you are working out. If you are an insecure, deeply anxious person, you are not going to be confident in what you're working on. You're not going to do a good job. By losing social anxiety, you just become the main character. I am the main character of my own world. I understand there are other main characters out there, but I just walk around like respectfully, like I am the main character. No one else people do exist in this world, but no one else can throw me off my path. Obviously, I am not ignorant, and it's not the case that I don't listen to anyone has to say to me. I am a very self-assessing person. I do listen to what others have to say. I just know at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what I want is going to help the people closest to me. I don't let anyone else's vision throw me off my path because I know their vision has nothing to do with mine. I know you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else in this world. I know you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone in this world because you never know what opportunities or pitfalls the other person has had compared to you. You're more likely to stand up for yourself having socially anxious, and that makes you likely to rank new opportunities from fighting for what it is you want instead of just submitting to what the other person is telling you. You, like I said before, you get better at confrontation, and getting better at confrontation, you get what you want more often because you're able to fight for what you want verbally. And in doing so, you feel more happier at the end of the day. You have respect for yourself when you can talk to someone about an issue and come out on top at the end of that conversation. Makes you happy. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. It gives you a sense that you're doing good. It gives you a sense that you're moving in the right direction. And being socially anxious is only going to make you move in the opposite direction. You're going to feel like you're doing nothing right because you're not confident in yourself. You don't think what you're doing is right. It's ridiculous. You just feel like you can talk to anyone, and you feel like you deserve to talk to people, and you feel like you deserve all the great things in your life as long as you work hard for it. And that's what's really amazing about it. You start to believe you do deserve very desirable things in this world. And once you believe you deserve them, you believe you can get them. And once you believe you can get them, you get them. Okay, you skipped all that stuff. It's okay that you skipped. This is the part of the video where I'm going to teach you how to rid all the social anxiety, but I do strongly suggest you do watch the previous part of the video, because if you do watch the previous part of the video, you're going to be able to better assess where you are messing up, and you'll have an easier time fixing what it is that you have an issue with. Small implementations. We need to start small here. It may sound stupid at first, but to start getting rid of your social anxiety, you just need to start talking to people in general, okay? And when I say talking to people, and I mean start fucking small, literally as in just going up to random ass people, asking for the time. Don't worry about trying to start conversations at first. Your main goal at hand at first is just getting rid of that initial approach anxiety, that initial fear of actually starting a conversation with someone. We're not even at doing conversations yet. We're at just talking to people in general, okay? There are a few examples you can do. You can set time aside in your day, or if you do have the time on weekends or after work or anything like that. Start small. Don't stress yourself out. If you want to try and get rid of this, and you want to try and better yourself and be less socially anxious, follow these steps correctly. Don't try and go ahead. Go day by day. Go step by step. Don't try to implement steps into each other. Just do each step separately. Take your time, because that will ensure the most success in ridding of your social anxiety. Ask people for the time. Make simple observations. One rule I like to follow is holding, wearing, or doing. And that means if you want to try and talk to someone, try and comment on something, 1, they're holding, comment 2, on something they're wearing, or comment 3, on something they are doing. That is the 3 easiest ways to go up to someone. And as I said first, don't worry about the conversations for now. I'm going to give you 3 live examples that I've done when I was first trying to get rid of my social anxiety. Number 1, someone was holding, and I was a little bit ballsy at first. I tried to go for girls at first, but if you're really too stressed out about that, start with guys. I suggest that you start with guys anyway, even if you aren't really stressed with girls, because mastering guys first, it will make mastering talking to a woman even easier at first. But holding, I remember going up to a couple people at the gym and just commenting on their water bottle they were holding. It's kind of difficult to do with like a no-name water bottle, but like if someone had like a college sticker on a water bottle or something like that, I'd go up to them, say like, oh hey, like I like their college football team or something like that. And later on, when you are ready for conversation, that's something perfect to start a conversation with the college football team that's on their water bottle. Like, hey, did you go to this college? Did you attend there? Do you follow them? Do you bet? Do you bet at all? Have you bet on this college sports team? Another one, some girl was holding a Stanley Cup, and I personally have a Stanley Cup as well. I just made a comment on this. I was like, oh hey, I got that same Stanley Cup at home, and she's like, oh yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? And like, that was it. And then I'm building myself momentum to get better and get ready to start more conversations. I'm getting used to just saying things to random people. I'm getting the anxiety out of my head of opening my mouth to strangers. A third one, I remember commenting on a guy's form at the gym. I saw him doing squats, and I was like, wow bro, your back's really straight going down. And I got in and got out. He said, thank you man, I really appreciate it, that makes me feel better. I thought I looked like shit, and I was like, nah, you look good. And that was it. And I got myself, like I just said, in the habit of just talking and commenting on random people, because you never know where that may lay. This is just the first part, getting that initial approach anxiety
out of your head. We're going to talk about how to start conversations real soon, but you need to just get rid of that approach. That is the first step. Step 2 is conversation. Step one is just that initial approach anxiety, that fear of going up to people, that fear of thinking of what you're going to say is stupid, the fear of thinking you're going to run out of things to say. It's ridiculous. You need to get rid of that first if you're ever going to have any deep, real conversation, okay? Understand that dumb words are going to come out sometimes. You're going to stutter, you're going to say dumbass shit. Understand it is part of the process, and you're going to get to a point where you're doing it for so long, either that shit just doesn't happen anymore, or it doesn't really happen for me anymore. Sometimes I'll say something stupid, but it doesn't matter. I just brush it off. You're going to do it for so long, you're just going to brush it off because you're so fucking confident. This should be a course I should charge for, but this immensely helped me in the beginning of my career of just getting better at talking to people, getting better at talking to men, selling more jobs, talking to women, getting more beautiful women. I literally dedicated not days at a time, but I would dedicate a whole day to just getting rid of the initial approach anxiety, and then dedicate whole days to conversation anxiety. The first part, approach anxiety, what you need to do, and this works immensely, it put me months ahead of the progress that I have made in the previous months. Just this one day of dedicating all this approach anxiety to just getting rid of it all in one day. I was able to get as much as I got out of the last 3 months and trying to get rid of it. And don't tell me you don't have fucking time. Everyone has a day off. Don't tell me if you have time to watch Netflix and play video games and jerk off and fucking sit home and do fucking dog shit all day, you got time to go and try and get rid of your social anxiety. I don't want to fucking hear it, okay? Dedicate a day to just trying to talk to people. Don't tell yourself, hey, like, maybe I'll have a conversation with this person, maybe I'll have a conversation with that girl over there. And I'll tell you, if your main goal in this world is if your main goal for social anxiety is just to get better at talking to women, which it shouldn't be, I'm sure it's a big part, because it was a big part of mine when I was younger, but understand that you need to get better at talking to everyone, not just women, because once you learn how to talk to everyone, everything translates into each other. You got to be good at talking to the men and women, because sometimes you're going to be in situations where you got to talk to both, and you got to learn how to woo both and be charismatic to both. You got to learn what things to say to men, what not to say to men. You got to learn what things you can say to women and what things you should not say to women. You got to learn how to read people, okay? The first time you're doing it, I'm assuming you clicked in this video because a big part of why you want to get rid of social anxiety is just talking to women, because that is most men's my age goal, is to just get better at that. The first time you do it, you need to make a promise to yourself. You need to make a rule for yourself that the first time you go and try and get rid of approach anxiety, you can't talk to women, okay? Because you're gonna be distracted. That was my problem when I tried it the first time, and I had to make that rule with myself just to focus on the initial approach. Because when I actually went out there and tried to do approaches and looked for people to just try and start a conversation with, or just try and initially say something to, what I found myself doing was not paying attention or to things that I could comment on with everyone. My mind just kept going to, where's the hot girls? What hot girl can I say something to? And that messed me up really bad. That made me miss a lot of opportunities to approach random people in stores, whether the mall, Target, Best Buy, wherever. I don't care, wherever you want to go. Walmart. I'll go to Walmart. But the first time you do it, make a rule to yourself to say that day, like, listen, no woman. Today is just an approach day. It's not meant to pull women. It's not meant to get any digits. It's not meant to try to fuck anybody. It's not meant to try to make any friends. Literally, today is just meant for getting rid of the initial approach anxiety, okay? And when I say approach anxiety, I'm not talking about approaching women or anything like that. I'm just talking about trying to start a conversation with anyone, because you want to learn how to make friends. You want to learn how to talk to girls. You want to know how to build your relationships. You want to know how to make connections. You want to know to put yourself in situations that you want to be in. And you need to know how to talk to people if you want to get in certain situations. So the first day, like I said, just small things. Don't worry about getting in conversations. I would only say try and get in a conversation if that person is really receptive, like they try to get in a conversation with you after you say something. But I'm literally talking small things. Like, I remember one of the first days I did it, just examples. I went to Target. I was in like the pasta aisle, and like some dude grabbed some mac and cheese off the shelf, and I was like, oh yeah, I bought that last night. It's delicious. And he's like, oh yeah, thanks buddy, I'm gonna get this one now. That was it. It wasn't a conversation. The interaction was over. I was in the vitamins department, and some lady was looking at multivitamins, and I was like, oh, you should go on Amazon. They have this cheaper vitamin on there that actually has way more ingredients in it. And I showed her on Amazon. It wasn't a conversation or anything like that. It was, oh, thank you so much, blah, 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 you're so sweet. And I was like, oh, that's it. I didn't try and stay your conversation. I didn't try and stay for conversation. All I did was show her that, and then I got the fuck, okay? I remember I was in the electronics department in Target. Some girl was reading a book. I had no idea what the fucking book is, but I saw her holding it up. I think it was like Catching Fire or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's a really good book. It's actually better than the movie. She goes, oh my God, yes, I tell everyone that. And I just laughed, walked away, did my thing. There's literally so many opportunities to approach, and what you're actually doing is you're training yourself to look for things to say to people when you actually do want to start a conversation. Again, the holding, wearing, or doing. I may have gave three holding situations. I'm going to give you some more wearing or doing situations as well. Wearing, some guy was wearing a Gymshark shirt, and I have a couple of Gymshark clothes myself, so I saw some guy in Target, and I was like, hey, I had that same Gymshark shirt at home, and I actually did, and he goes, all right, brother, and he dapped me up, and that was good. We had the little connection, like, all right, yeah, we gym bros. That's wearing. Doing, I forgot what store I was at, but someone was up on a ladder, and he was like changing a fucking light bulb, and I was like, oh, they had to pick you to do that shit, huh? And he goes, yeah, it's ridiculous, huh? But I'm just getting myself used to talking to people, and I'm getting rid of that initial approach, because once you can handle and be good at an approach, conversation becomes easier. Take it one step at a time. Don't try and mold everything together, and don't let woman be your goal in the beginning. Woman is like the last step thing. It is the hardest thing, and master all the basics before you can get to a mastery level. A master is someone who has gone over every single basic there is to learn. Learn the basics first. If you're some tech nerd or you work crazy 80, 90 hours a week, there are other places you can do this as well. If you're a video game player, but I strongly advise playing fucking video games, as I truly do believe it is a waste of fucking time. Practice starting conversations with people in random Xbox lobbies. Like if you're a Call of Duty player or a Fortnite player or a GTA player, go in public lobbies by yourself without parties and make friends in there. Learn how to talk to people, learn how to ask people questions, learn how to ask people about themselves, and work your way into parties with them, and learn how to make friends online. Or if you don't have Xbox or PlayStation or anything like that, do it on Omegle. There's plenty of guys jerking off on Omegle. I'm kidding, but yeah, there definitely is plenty of guys jerking off. Be careful of that, but every once in a while there is a good man or woman trying to start a conversation on there. Just talk on there. Practice on that. Talk to anyone for free. You're probably not going to see anyone you know. You're definitely not going to see anyone you know. There's way too many fucking people on there. But try Omegle. Try to start new conversations on there. These are just outlets where you can start conversations at home on your computer if you don't have the time to go out and physically do it. Okay? Next, once you start to get the approach anxiety down, then you can go out and try to start a new conversation with people. You can, once you master the art of the approach, conversation becomes so much easier. But understand, in the conversation side of things, anyone can go up to anyone and approach and say something and just get rid of that approach anxiety. But conversation is a little bit more difficult because people often forget that people don't always want to talk, and don't let that get to you. Some people are grumpy, some people are having a bad day, some people just don't like to talk to people in general. Some people's social skills are a hell of a lot worse than yours, and they don't know how to reply to what you just said to them. Understand everyone is not going to be receptive. Don't let unreceptive people make you insecure for starting a new conversation, okay? When trying to start conversation with people, holding, wearing, or doing, you start there and you try and excel the conversation from there. I like to use the motor example. When you're trying to talk to someone, you do that initial approach. If nothing is really said, you use the motor example. You keep trying to turn the engine, keep trying to say something that sparks an interest, because chances are the other person is not going to be good at conversation or doesn't know you're trying to start a conversation. So keep saying shit until there's a spark, until there's something to talk about. And again, it isn't always going to work. Just try until you think you've exhausted all efforts, or you just get to a point where it's fucking weird and you just walk away, okay? But don't just kill the conversation just because the person didn't say anything receptive. Say something else after something comes out of their mouth after the first thing you said to them, okay? Just keep trying to start the conversation. It's like a motor. Keep trying to start the engine when it won't turn over, okay? keep trying to turn it over. Things you can say to actually start conversations with people. Like I said, that initial approach, holding, wearing, or saying, but just ask questions, okay? Keep asking questions about what it is you guys are talking about, and find something to clamp onto. Find something you can keep talking about. Be interested in what they have to say. Even if you aren't interested in what they're saying in the moment, go a little bit further until you can try and find something that you can talk about. This is what I said about trying to keep turning the engine. Like, you guys both have to sort of make a click for the conversation to keep going. That's how the best relationships happen. Two people click. If you don't end up clicking with someone, that's okay. You probably don't want to be friends with them anyway, okay? The whole thing is making a connection. You only want to be with people who you can connect with, because the people you connect with are going to help make you stronger and smarter in the path that you are on. I'm not saying that people you don't connect with aren't trying to get stronger and smarter as well, but they're maybe not on the path of trying to get stronger and smarter that you are on. Maybe they're trying to get stronger and smarter in something else, and you're trying to get stronger and smarter in this, and it just doesn't work. It's okay. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that exactly that you have to make a connection on. Just try to make a connection on anything, and then build the conversation from there, and understand the ones that don't work, it probably wasn't going to work anyway, and it probably wasn't someone that you wanted to be around, and you weren't probably someone they wanted to be around. It's okay. Don't think you're retarded, or don't think you're stupid, or don't think you're uncool. You guys just didn't have a connection. You come from two different worlds. It's all right. Be friendly. Start implementing this into your life. Yes, dedicate these days to practice these specific things, but eventually you don't want to just have to keep dedicating entire days to focusing on whatever, to focus on just getting better at approaching and making conversation, making connections, but you eventually just want to get to the point where you can just implement this into your everyday life. Like, for example, if you're going to the grocery store and you see like a girl or some guy or something like that that you may want to build some type of connection with, you can practice there. Practice doing it on the daily. Once you get a little bit secure and confident on and getting rid of your social anxiety and learning how to start conversations with more people, you can just do this in your day-to-day life. Like I said, at the grocery store, if you see someone buying some yogurt that's an example of how you can start a conversation there. Hey, you like that, blah, blah, blah. You think it's good for you? Have you tried this brand, blah, blah, blah? Do you eat that protein yogurt because you go to the gym? Oh, cool. What gym do you go to? How long you been going for? Do you know anyone? Oh, yeah, you know Ed? I know Ed, too. I've known him for years. He's pretty good. How's he doing with work? I haven't seen him in a while. So I'm just ranting, but like this is literally how the conversation can go. Just look for shit to talk about, okay? Keep trying to turn that engine, keep asking questions, listen, and share your own thoughts and ideas once you get to that point where you are confident to do that as well. Don't just ask a bunch of questions. When you can, share something you think. Share some of yourself as well. You're going to look weird. Any type of public place, a restaurant, like a mechanic, school if you go to school, the gym. The gym is a great place to start this. The gym is a place of like-minded people, like I said before, and if you're trying to get rid of social anxiety, the gym is a great place to go, because you have opportunity to see the same people over and over again. All the stress isn't on your back to having to make a friendship out of this first connection. With the gym, you can do it over a period of time, because you're going to have more chances to. Just don't be weird. But like I said before, I told you about the $10 and $25 Planet Fitness memberships. Sign up for it. You'll get stronger, smarter, and develop your social skills. It'll be fun for you. Getting into like level 3 conversation, level 2 conversation is, like I said before, just with the whole protein yogurt thing, asking people where they go, where they've been to the gym, if they know people. I'd consider that like level 2 conversation. Level 3 conversation is more so getting really on a deep level with a person, being vulnerable with them. That's how you would initially start a relationship with a woman, or develop a deep friendship with a man, is getting deep into their personal life and sharing your personal life. But you have to be careful, because you can't share too much of your personal life right up front, because you're gonna freak them out, especially women. You have to kind of have a reason to share something deep about yourself. And once you just keep talking and being vulnerable and being yourself, wait for a time to share something about yourself. Don't just be talking about yogurt with a girl and be like, yeah, my uncle locked me in the basement when I was 12 years old. Like, no, don't do that. Like, if you're talking and you want them to share something deep with you and be able to develop an even deeper connection. For example, something that worked for me and actually helped me hook up with a girl one time was the protein yogurt's the perfect fucking conversation starter, bro. I only say this because I have talked about that with a couple different people, but maybe it wasn't protein yogurt, maybe it was like a protein bar or something like that. Oh yeah, it was a Quest bar, because Quest is like one of the only protein bars who actually focuses just protein to be on their bar and like very low carbs. And I was talking to this girl at Target one time that I went up to because we were both looking at protein bars, and I was like, hey, what are you looking for? I know a lot about this stuff. She looked confused. She goes, oh, thank you. She's like, I want a protein bar, but I'm trying to lose weight. I don't want one that makes me gain weight. I go, oh, I've had like the same problem. I had a reason to share something deep about myself, but I waited to do it. I was like, oh yeah, like the Quest bars are good. There's not a lot of carbs. If you're trying to lose fat and build muscle, that's something that you can eat. It's gonna help for you. It's gonna keep the fat down low and just give you the protein you need to build that muscle. And she's like, oh, like you buy these a lot? I go, yeah, I buy these. She goes, what else do you buy? What do you eat for food? I was like, you know, I'm me personally, I'm on a carnivore diet. I only eat meat. And I started telling her, like, yeah, I just eat meat. I'm kind of always just trying to stay constant, just trying to stay really lean and keep the fat off. And she goes, oh, why do you do that? You don't want to get bigger? And I was like, nah, I really don't care about getting like huge. I just really want to look good. And she goes, how did you get into this? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I was really fat when I was younger. I went through a point in high school where I lost 100 pounds. And she goes, what? No way. I lost like 50 to 60 pounds in high school too. And we were able to have that deeper connection than just, oh yeah, you know, so-and-so, I like this protein yogurt too. Like, find a reason to share something deep about yourself. Don't be embarrassed. Find a reason to be vulnerable, but don't be creepy, and don't be vulnerable too early. Wait till you have that initial reason to actually share something about yourself. And the more vulnerable and real you are with them, the more likely they are to share something vulnerable about themselves and share something deep about them, and the more likely they are to trust you by actually sharing that deep secret with you. Get them to share something deep about themselves to subconsciously make them trust you. Build social circles with all, not only to grow your social status and just look better for everyone else. Build social circles with all, because you never know who you may meet along the way. You never know who you may accidentally meet that introduces you to something that can make your life exponentially better. You never know what guy you can meet that is gonna show you something that you're extremely passionate about, or is gonna maybe lead you into some new career path just because he likes you, and you could end up liking this career path. He could introduce you to some new hobby that you're so excited with. He could introduce you to someone out of that social circle, which could be a woman that you could actually end up really clicking with. You never know where a friendship may take you. You never know where a friendship could take you. That's why you should just try to make friends with lots of people, because it's just going to make you happier in the end, and it is going to make you look good. People want to be friends with the guy who is friends with everyone, okay? They're going to respect you for being just a man of the people. And I just want to touch base on a certain thing, a certain person that people try to stay away from. Everyone knows a guy with a hard shell that no one really talks to and no one really wants to talk to, because he may seem like kind of an asshole. And what I've realized in my later years and just being on this journey of just trying to talk to people and crack people's shells, the guys and women with the hardest fucking shells to crack, if you can crack them, there are going to be the most loyal and best friends in the world, because whatever they went through in their life, they don't want to be tough shells to crack, because being a tough shell to crack, you probably don't have a lot of friends, because a lot of people probably don't know how to talk to you. But if you can be that guy that can crack their shell, his or her shell, and be their friend and let them know you are not judging them, letting them know there's not an ounce of judgment in your body towards them, they're gonna see that and be like, oh my god, he wants to be my friend. They're not gonna know that they've been pushing everyone away because they have such a tough shell to crack. If you can crack those people's shell, they will have the utmost amount of respect for you, because they don't know that people haven't wanted to be their friends in the past because they didn't know how to be their friends. You're going to be one of their very few friends, and they're going to want to do everything they can and be loyal as hell to keep you around, because they don't have a lot of opportunities in their life where they make new friends. So those are going to be the best people to actually make friends with. And I'm not saying this in a sense to use them or anything. It's just good to have a loyal friend, someone you can trust, someone that can help you, someone you can help when they need it, and you can understand, you can know that you can trust them. It's good to have people in your life that you can trust. So those tough to crack people, don't think they're an asshole. Just know that however they grew up, they became a hermit. make friends with everyone. Even if it's fucking hard, try, because making friends with those people is going to make you better at making friends with everyone else, and you're going to make a great friend in the process. So I did go off on a little tangent there. I'm sorry, but going back to just finding places to make friends and just making friends in general every day. Yes, the gym is a good place, as I said, but an issue may arise. An issue did arise with me. You don't have to do this. It could just help you move a little bit faster until you're ready to get to this point. But if you've gone years with being socially awkward and trying to make new friends in a place where you were at a time where you once were bad at making friends, and you may have, in your head, maybe you think you made a fool of yourself, or you probably didn't. But if you feel like there's some sort of mental block trying to make new friends in a gym that you've been going to for years and you see the same people, get out of it for a little while. If you think it's really holding you back and making new friends, it stresses you out trying to talk to the people that you've seen for years. If that stresses you out and you think it's going to help you move on this journey faster, chill with that gym for a while and join a new gym. I go to like fucking 4 different gyms, bro, because I do get some weird mental blocks with some of my gyms sometimes. I'm very conscious of my thoughts and how I feel at all times. So if you are having some type of issue and trying to progress with conversation and trying to meet new people at the gym you're at now because you feel as if you've made yourself awkward or isolated or done stupid shit within the past 3 years, but I guarantee you no one fucking remembers you or what the fuck you said over the past 3 years. I guarantee no one's thinking about you. Everyone's thinking about them fucking self. But if that is something that is blocking you, just don't quit. Just chill for a while. Chill with that gym. Go to another place where you can meet new people. Chill with that gym. Go to a new gym where there's fresh faces, fresh people, new people to talk to. And when you are ready, go back there and conquer that bitch. Go back to the fucking gym that you felt awkward at and fucking conquer it. Do everything you can. Be the goddamn mayor of that bitch, okay? But if you do feel it, I'll say this again. If you feel it's holding you back, don't think you're quitting. You're just taking a break to grow stronger and go back when you are ready, okay? Momentum. Momentum is extremely important. If you just do a week of approaching and conversation starting and then never fucking do it again, you're going to lose it. If you have ever heard the term, if you don't use it, you lose it, that is very fucking true. If you don't use the gift of conversation skills constantly and learn how to implement it into your everyday life and actually continue to get better at it and learn to like to do it, you're going to lose that ability. You have to get in the habit of doing it over and over and over, and if you don't do it, you're going to get in the habit of not talking to people again. And I've gone through that cycle myself, and I've learned this over years of just getting better at this. You got to make it a habit, and you got to keep doing it if you want it to stay with you, okay? You cannot stop. And once you do it for long enough, you're going to get to a point where it's just regular for you, and you're not going to have to worry about doing it over and over. It's not going to be annoying for you. It's going to be something you want to do, just like the gym. Like you can't survive without it. Like, I need fucking people to talk to. I already explained the issue of some people not wanting to reciprocate, but I just want to burn it into your head because it was something that discouraged me for a while. Not everyone is going to want to talk to you. Some people are antisocial pricks. They're not ready to get on this journey that you're on. They don't want to talk. They're not interested in talking to you. It's nothing you did. You're not a weirdo. You don't stink. They're just in their own little world, and they're not social people. It's okay. The whole point is putting yourself in positions where new conversations can form. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times, most of the conversations with men and women, they're not gonna go anywhere. I'd say men, it probably goes places more because men are like golden retrievers. They just want to be friends with everyone. Most men. But a lot of women, it is more difficult. Some people just don't want to talk. Some people just don't want to talk. It's okay. Don't think you're stupid. Just keep trying. Understand that most conversations aren't going to go anywhere. But like I just said, putting yourself in the position of being in some sort of interaction where it can lead to a huge conversation, you will inevitably have more big conversations and build more lasting relationships, I promise. And just don't be weird. I never really had this problem, but I watched a lot of people on YouTube who are trying to teach us have this problem. There's a point of having balls and trying to keep the conversation going, and there's also a point of being weird. Like, some people are clearly like giving signs of, I do not want to talk to you, I am uncomfortable, please move away from me, and they're still trying to move forward. I guess this applies more to a guy trying to talk to a woman. I mean, girls, if you're watching this could apply to you talking to men, but if they're giving you clear signs that like they don't want to talk to you and like they're not reciprocating at all, like let it go. Like be a gentleman and just, or a gentlewoman, and let them go. Like I remember there was a couple times recently, actually, I approached a girl at Target, and I tried talking to her, and she like kept trying to walk away, and I was like, hey. And I saw her, like her whole body was just turned the other way, and her neck was facing me from behind like this, and I saw the body language. Her body wasn't facing me. She wasn't trying to talk to me. She was just kind of trying to go buy her shit and get out. And when I said, hey, you don't got like 10 seconds? She goes, what? And I go, oh, I'm sorry, I'll let you go. Like, I can tell, like, she wasn't having it, or she was having a bad day, had a boyfriend, or didn't want to talk to me, or thought I was ugly, or thought I stink. I don't give a fuck. But understand when you do just need to let it go. It's okay to do that sometimes. Don't be weird. Don't ruin your reputation at a gym by pressing a girl or a guy too much, okay? No, this is a lifelong journey. This isn't something you're going to get better at in a week or a month or even a year. But think about continuing on this journey. Go out, practice killing your approach anxiety for one day. You're going to get a dopamine high from it. And once you do that, I want you to think where you're going to be a month from now. I want you to think where you can be a year from now. And after that, I want you to think where you can be 10 years from now, and think about how far being less socially anxious and being able to talk to anybody, being charismatic and more articulate can take you in life. Think about where you can be in just a year, not even 10 years from now, if you continue on this journey. You're going to be amazing. You're going to be charismatic. You're going to be articulate. You're going to be that guy everyone wants to be around. And you're just going to be a more happy, more loving guy by having more love in your life. Thank you for watching. I hope you were able to learn something from this. Here's some of my TikToks right here. If I can figure out how to put the link in, I'll put it. But if not, it's easy. There's my handle. I do have a weekly schedule going for YouTube videos. I really don't have a schedule for TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. Hopefully those handles are in there too. But I'm trying to post Monday through Friday, 1 video a day, 5 videos a week. I'm working as hard as I can to do that, and I'm gonna make it happen. So if you are interested in the things I have to say, please leave a like. I really would appreciate a comment, even if it's just a I liked your video or something like that. You don't got to take a whole paragraph. It does help with the algorithm. Just say, hey, you're handsome, or some bullshit like that. Leave something, and subscribe if you want to hear more what I have to say. I have big plans for this channel. I'm going to be releasing merch soon, and eventually I do want to create courses for approaching or killing approach and social anxiety. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Love you.